So now that you know something about how the ultrasonic sensor works, let's write a program that will repeatedly play a 3-note tune until the EV3 gets a report from the ultrasonic sensor that it has detected an object close by. Okay, so we're going to repeatedly play those notes. So we want a loop. Let's go into flow control, and here's our loop. Let's drag that up there. Good. And we want this loop to continue until an object is detected close by. So let's go in here. Let's select ultrasonic sensor. And notice we can do distance in centimeters or in inches. I'm going to do centimeters. Okay, and I think I want to repeat until the object is, you can see this is less than. We could make it greater than, equal to, but I'm going to keep it on less than. And let's make it less than 25 centimeters. Okay, so let's stick some notes in my loop. Let me get my sound block, and let's play a note. And let's do, I don't know, G5. And then let's put another note in there. And we'll do a note, and this one, let's do F5, and a third note, and this time we will play, let's see, what do we got? E5, so we've got G5, then F5, then E5, and I want each of these to play for 1/10 of a second, so 0.1 seconds, not for very long. 0.1 and 0.1. Okay. And I think what we'll do is once we leave the loop, because we've seen something that's close enough, we'll have another sound. And if we go into the, I don't want communication, I think I want information, then we can have the robot say object.
Object.
And then we'll put one more sound file in there. And let's go down here, and I actually detected. So our program will end and say object detected. Okay, let's download and give it a try. Okay, let's give it a go.
Object detected.
By the way, just as we did with the color sensor, if our robot is plugged in with the USB cable, we can click on this port tab down here, and then you can see that in port 4 we have our ultrasonic sensor. I can click there and say select distance centimeters or distance inches. I'm going to select distance centimeters. And then you can watch down here in this lower right corner right now it says 255 centimeters because that's all it can see. It can't see anything in front of it within 255 centimeters. And if I move my hand in front, there you go. My hand is about 43 centimeters away. Now it's about 23 centimeters away. Now look, if I move my hand all the way up to the front, it reads at 255 because my hand's so close that the ultrasonic sensor can't bounce back into the sensor. If that didn't make sense, then go back and watch the previous video. Okay, now let's trace through this program step by step to see what's happening. As soon as we begin the program, we arrive at the entrance to the loop, and it says, "Welcome, come in," so we go in. We play the first note, and then we play the second note, and the third note. Now we reach the end of the loop, and we have to check whether the ultrasonic sensor detects that there's an object less than 25 centimeters away. Let's pretend it doesn't detect anything that close. So the loop will say, "Do it again." So here we go again, playing each of the 3 notes until we end up back at the end of the loop again. And we check whether the ultrasonic sensor detects an object closer than 25 centimeters. Let's pretend that this time the ultrasonic sensor does detect an object closer than 25 centimeters. So the loop says, time to exit, and we continue past the loop to the next block. The EV3 says object and moves on. And then we get to the last block where the EV3 says detected. Finally, we're at the end of our program, so the EV3 does its cleanup routine and turns off the motors and speaker and resets the display. That's a pretty cool program, but now let's take it up a notch. Let's have the robot drive forward while we're playing the music and stop as soon as an object is detected. This is actually a pretty simple change to our program. Okay, so we need to grab a move steering block, and let's actually put it right before the loop, right? So we will start and we will just turn the motors on. So turn the motors on, and then we'll do our loop with the playing notes. And we want to turn the motors off here at the end. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit so that you can, there we go, see the whole program. I'm going to grab another move steering block and put that in there. And let's turn it off. Okay. So it will stop as soon as the ultrasonic detects there's something within 25 centimeters at the end of the loop. We will stop the motors before we say object detected. At this point, our program is getting a little more complicated, and I want to remind you how useful it is, or how useful it can be, to write comments on the screen. So all you need to do is just click on this comment tool, and it pops a little comment box, and you can drag that wherever you want to put your comment. So I'm going to put a comment here that says, remember that I wanted to stop the motors. Oh, let me make this a little bit wider. Remember that I wanted to stop the motors before saying object detected, right? And maybe another comment. I just clicked on that comment tool again, and let's put another comment here that says total time for the music is 0.3 seconds. Now, I admit these comments are not the most useful in the entire world, but I just want to remind you that you can use comments, and that you should get into the habit of putting comments in as your programs get longer and things get more complicated. You do want to make sure when you're done writing your comments that this select tool is the tool that is selected again, so that you can keep working. Okay, let's give it a shot.
Object detected.
Cool. Let's just review our program for a minute. I'm not going to do a full trace, but just an overview. First, we turn on the power to the robot's motors. Remember, that's like hitting the Frankenstein switch. We keep repeating the 3-note sequence until we detect an object less than 25 centimeters away. When we leave the loop, we stop the motors, that is, move the Frankenstein kill switch and hit the brakes. And finally, the EV3 moves through the last 2 blocks, saying object, then detected, and then cleans up.